Hey, Capricorn. Sorry, there goes my throat. I'm hoping that you're all well. Oh, dear. Let's see what is going on for you guys. As you already know, messages don't resonate for everybody, so take what does, leave the rest, yada, yada, yada. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Follow the leader. Uh-oh. 40. There's something in terms of your stability, something in terms of your roots, or what it is that you're trying to grow and manifest. However, this card speaks to following the leader. So are you taking an approach because somebody is telling you to, or are you listening to yourself, your higher self, albeit within the rules and laws of society? But are you basically trusting your own intuition, trusting your wants and needs? Do you know what your wants and needs are? Or are you being led? Interesting. Let's get a little bit more on this. And maybe this is a warning to really look into who it is that you're listening to or following advice from. There we go. The Hierophant, okay? So the Hierophant, this is institutional power, okay? It usually represented the church or society, rulers. But the thing is that these people have the power, and unfortunately, because they can instill fear, because they are in the positions that they're in, they can take advantage of it. So I want to know what this is. I'm getting a warning flag for some reason. What is this? Follow the, yeah. Somebody's not being truthful and honest. And this is the Queen of Swords energy. Somebody is not telling the truth in a situation here. And I hate to say it, but you may have allowed yourself to be swayed or influenced by this individual or this institution or their belief systems. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's very bitter and spiteful. And because they're bitter and spiteful, they lie, and they've got a problem with ego. So for them, they're power hungry, and they'll do whatever it takes to get that power. Okay? So I don't know if this is resonating for your own energy or somebody around you, but this is a heads up. This is a heads up in terms of something's going on here in which there's a lack of truth and honesty. Perhaps some of you have realized this as of late, and that's why you've got your heads up and you're really taking into consideration, double checking what it is that you're getting yourselves involved with. You could be dealing with an air sign, doesn't have to be, could be a Taurus, doesn't have to be. So the next card that's come out for you is Wide Open. I love this Wide Open card because it's saying that you've got everything available to you and that the path is clear if you choose to take responsibility and ownership of where you're headed. So beautiful. High Priestess energy. You could be dealing with a Pisces, but the High Priestess is hidden knowledge. You might be sitting back right now, which might be good, or if this was going on in the past for you, it looks like now some of you are really looking, it's almost like somebody knew something. Somebody knew something, and I don't know if you believed it in the beginning. Maybe you thought that they were lying, and now it turns out that they actually weren't. They were telling the truth. Could have been something important. Yeah, they had a vision of some sort. I feel like they had a vision of some sort in terms of action, maybe. Maybe if you were dealing with, you know, this could even represent the law for that matter, because it's usually what the people want, right? So I feel like this person had a vision, and now it's starting to make sense. It's like they said something to you. Perhaps you got a warning and you thought that they were lying about it. and you may have just gone ahead with what is normally traditional. And now, as situations are unfolding, you're starting to see that this person may have told you the truth. What did this High Priestess do? What is this High Priestess doing, or what did they do? It's possible that they warned you about something that you were fixated on, something that was upsetting you, something that just wasn't working. And perhaps you didn't hear it. And now situations may have changed here. What changed with this situation back here, please? What happened here with this? Okay, yeah, more heartbreak. Unfortunately, there was some communication, and maybe this is one of those situations which is, it was the good advice you just didn't take. I feel like somebody warned you, and they may have told you, you might be looking at the wrong piece of this puzzle in order to solve it. And if you have a vision and if you want to succeed based on what you're up against, you might need to really look at this, but instead you didn't. And now you're stuck in grief and upset about it. Or the person, or maybe you were the one who told them something, and now they're suffering because they didn't listen to the advice. And I feel like you can see the two different types of informational source here. You have one in which is created by man, society, power, rulers, and they have their own agendas, whether it be money, prestige, power. But then this individual here, this person, this type of power is inner power, and it comes from source, okay? It comes from the divine. This comes from a higher perspective about the situation in terms of what to do externally in a situation, because the kings are outward focused. So this was about something that was manifesting in your physical life. So I feel like some of you might have some regrets, or you might feel a little bit sad, or the person that you're dealing with is feeling a little bit sad because they did not take the good advice, and maybe they lost something else along the way here, right? Because this is loss. The Three of Swords. Maybe they lost money. Maybe they lost... What was lost here, please, Spirit? What was lost? Yeah, they got tricked. They got lied to. Maybe you got tricked and lied to. Unfortunately, somebody was not honest, and they had power behind them, and it's like an abuse of the system. And unfortunately, I feel like either you or the person you were dealing with or someone around you suffered a huge loss because they didn't listen to what this one was saying. What? Yeah, this one I think said, don't go up against this. Do not, do not challenge this, because unfortunately there are other ways to go about it. Or this is maybe a lesson, which is that you can't take this on, because unless you've got all of the money in the world, and unless you've got all of the resources in the world, there's no way you can bring down the institution at this point in time on your own. So they may have prepared you for a fall from grace, or let you know about it, but yet maybe you didn't listen here. And what was this person sneaky about? Yeah, there's you, Capricorn. They stole from you. They stole from you, and they ran off, and they were literally looking back at you, smiling about it. I feel like they almost used... This person used your fixed... If you had a fixed opinion on something or a fixed way of doing things, they manipulated the fact that maybe you follow suit. And because you follow suit, they knew how to use that against you. Do you see what I'm saying? They used it against you. There could have been a lack of flexibility in terms of a choice to be made, perhaps you thought, no, I know that this is the right way. But unfortunately, that's the thing with life, right? Is there is no right and wrong anymore. People are getting away with things that we've been taught have been wrong forever. They get away with it because they're strategic, they're sneaky, and they're manipulative. And they do it under the radar. Now, they will get their karma. They will. But that karma comes from the divine. It doesn't come from human beings. Okay? So, I think that they used something. They used the fact that maybe you do the right thing against you. And that's how they won. It's like they knew you would take the tried and tested approach. So they found a way to manipulate it to get what they wanted. And now you've suffered more loss from it. It's one of those situations where I hate to say this, but sometimes what we're taught isn't always right. Because when you get the influence of the world around you, we have to wake up and realize that we have to trust our higher power. We have to trust the divine. We cannot trust our own egos, because we could have been taught something that was wrong. An ego is created based on the things that we learned growing up. So if you need an example of this situation, it would be like the one of the mothers who spoke in the Ted Bundy case. And what happened was she always taught her daughter, you know, and her daughter followed the leader. She always taught her daughter to be loving and kind and helpful. Well, Ted Bundy comes along as a sneaky, manipulative nutcase and a liar and a deceiver and a manipulator. And what does he do? He used her fixed beliefs against her. So he preyed on the fact that she was kind and caring. So he pretended that he was hurt. And then the daughter was like, oh, can I help you carry your groceries to the car? And that ended up getting her pushed into the vehicle and then abducted, and unfortunately led to her demise. So, like the mother said, I cannot believe that the good values we instilled into her is what got her taken away from us permanently, right? It was a huge lesson. It was a huge lesson in terms of sometimes you have to be strategic too. Sometimes you have to realize what you're up against and really look at the reality of it. And that is why we go back to the divine and we hand it over to God or spirit or source and say, handle this. Because when our small selves think that we are like, this is an ego falling, okay? So when our small selves think that we've got all of this power, guess what? We actually don't. And then that's when we end up suffering. So I feel like, again, somebody may have said, I know you have a vision and I know you're acting upon what you think is right or what you think you should do or what makes you feel powerful. Maybe you think you have this power in this situation, but now look what's happened. I think somebody really gave some divine guidance here, but it was hard. And now, I hate to say it, but there's an ending of a situation here. It could be to do with a Scorpio, but somebody did not get success here. And it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because, and trust me, I've been there myself, where somebody has given me some really, really good advice, and I had asked them about it, but yet I still thought I knew better, and I ended up losing because of it. So I don't know what this is in regards to, but it looks as though whatever the situation is, there was a big lesson to be learned here, and there's going to be a transformation, okay? So I don't know how this fits with your story, but even if you say we're the one that didn't take the good advice, it's okay. Forgive yourself, lesson learned, and now you can move forward with the wisdom that you gained, okay? Now, the sad bit about these lessons is that we are suffering real loss. We're losing people, we're losing friends, we're losing relationships, we're losing money, we're losing the things that we need to quote unquote survive, or the things that we love. But I hate to say it, that's the only thing that will, how do I put it, paradoxically, that's the only thing that'll wake you up, or wake up the person that you're dealing with, right? They have to lose on such a scale that it's enough to trigger them to change, because that's how powerful ego can be when we think we know everything. So Spirit will take the most valuable things away from you. And the reason why is because there's something here that you have to transform and grow from. But I feel like you are growing, or the person you're dealing with is growing, and that they can no longer continue to look at the ways that they've done things, because they keep losing over and over and over again. And it's like, how many kicks to the head does this person need to take before they finally look in the mirror and realize they're the ones that have to change? They are the ones that have to change. They have to realize the power that they actually really have versus what they don't have. And their ego, I feel like somebody's ego in this situation has continued to lead them astray. And they just have not been able to accept that it was themselves who were the problem. There's the toxicity, right? So after this lesson has now become apparent, I want to see, I think that wide open card also speaks to the fact that now, with this knowledge going forward, what kind of decisions are going to be made, and what is the situation? Compass, didn't I say? Because now going forward, there is a new opportunity. There's going to be a little bit of conflict here, 5, but there's change as well. But the thing is now that there's been this awakening, or this knowledge, or this understanding, what path will you take? Spirit will continue to give you the 2 options, because every day, because time is not, and nothing is permanent for that matter, Spirit is always going to give you opportunities every day to change course, because it's, what do you want in this moment, in this present? What do you want to experience? So it's going to bring remnants of the past, how you've always been, or it's going to bring you this opportunity for new. What are you going to do? Where is your compass going to lead you? So I feel like there could be a decision or an action that you have coming up to make, and it's a matter of how are you going to do it? How are you going to handle it? And see, Knight of Pentacles, action. And the Knight is very slow moving. So this decision means that it really takes looking at all of the reality, right? As much as we like to think that Spirit is on our side, people can sometimes twist that in their minds and say, Spirit has my back, so Spirit is going to give me what I want. Spirit is also teaching you how to grow, because you're here for a purpose as well. And if you are doing things that aren't, aligned with your soul's path, that follow the leader thing, then guess what? And even if you've delegated yourself as the leader, it will cause chaos if you're not on the right path for your soul's growth. So you're at a crossroads right now where you get to make a decision as to what steps you're going to take going forward. And it's something to do with a physical matter. So something to do with person, place, or thing. And I feel like it's a decision. And it's calling on you to have this grace. So here's that Strength card. That Strength card is trusting in the divine, but also knowing when to tame your inner primal animal. So Spirit is telling you there's going to be something here coming up in which either your ego, which is the lion here, is going to roar and say, I'm right, and this is the way it's going to be done because I've always done it, and too sure of themselves because they're just instinctually acting from an animal point of view. Or is the higher self here, infinity, higher, the white dress, symbolizing the divine, the purity? Are you going to tame that inner beast and literally Really look at the situation. Can you change it? Do you really have all the power you think you have? Or cross watchers, this could be for you. Do you really think you have all of this power? And yes, like I said, some people manipulatively get away with things. Or, here you go again, the Five of Cups. Or are you going to choose to look at the Three Cups that continue to fall over and not look at the opportunities behind you, these Two Cups? Are you not going to look at doing something a different way? So here's your choice. And this Knight of Pentacles is looking at what action to take. And whatever the decision is where you're going to head again. So are you going to trust in the divine and realize the power that you truly have in reality? And also accept the fact that you're on a learning path. So no, Spirit is not going to give you what you want. Spirit is going to give you what you need. So it's up to you, I guess, is what is happening here. And the outcome is, some of you still might not take that gift from Spirit. You might not take this opportunity. Others of you, you might go in and reflect, and you might start looking at how, you might take a real look at these Three Cups again, because the Three Cups are in this card too. You might look at how you've been doing things over and over again, and you might not allow yourself to get pulled back into the way that things have been. So again, Spirit just gives you hints about what might be coming up. So this is on you. This is really on you and what you're deciding to do. Wow, what a powerful reading, powerful messages. Your postcard, dear you, uncertainty is the new normal for the whole world. Things are changing at a rapid pace. What did I say about the change in the 5? And the old ways we once trusted, oh my gosh, didn't I say it? We once trusted are no longer reliable, but leaving the familiar behind can be a good thing. Didn't I say that? When you are pushed to step into the unknown, you are pulled forward into discovering new possibilities that have been hidden in plain sight. That was that High Priestess energy. Check in with your higher power. Your soul knows better than your small self. What a confirmation. Have faith in the support of a higher power and the infinite potential for your life right now. Right now, the advice we have for you is this. Try something new. Do something different. You won't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be if you do not take that first step into the unknown and experience the unfamiliarity. You'll be so glad you did, because the treasure will appear. We're so proud of you for being brave. You are so loved and so supportive. So supported, sorry. How spot on was that? It doesn't get any clearer than that. So whether you're dealing with love, whether you're dealing with a family situation, whether you're dealing with a work situation, this is time. And if you don't want to be sad anymore, and if you don't want to continue to suffer losses, this is time, Spirit is saying, to really do some self-reflecting. And are you going to choose yourself, thinking that you are the one who has all of the control? Or are you going to give up to your higher self, accept the reality and why this is happening? Because the beauty is when we let go of control, we get everything and beyond what we thought. We're under an illusion that, if we control everything, if we try and control it, and we think we know the right answers, sometimes it's a matter of taking a step back, sitting, and letting Spirit take the wheel. Okay? But that means stepping out of ego. That means not acting from our primal place. Beautiful. That's what I got for you, my Cappies. I hope that it helped. Sorry, this is getting a little bit long. And I'm sending you so much love. What a beautiful, huge, important lesson that you're going through right now. But not only that, way to be strong and courageous, because these are tough lessons. These are very tough lessons. Because like I said, the things that get pulled away from us, the more stubborn we are, the bigger the loss. Okay? All right. There goes my throat again. Have a great one, Cappies.